Hello! Welcome to this magical corner of stories. Today, I bring you a tale full of bravery, cleverness, and adventure. Tom Thumb. So get comfy, open your ears wide, and get ready to dream. Tom Thumb. Once upon a time, deep in a great and shadowy forest, there lived a very poor family in a tiny wooden cottage. The parents had 7 children, and the youngest of them all was so incredibly small he could fit in the palm of a hand. Because of his size, they called him Tom Thumb. Even though he was small, Tom was clever, sharp-eyed, and always listening. His parents loved him, but often thought, he's too little to do anything important. Tom didn't mind. He simply smiled and thought to himself, one day I'll prove them wrong. Times were hard. The family had no money and barely enough food for a meal a day. Every night, the parents whispered their worries, thinking the children were asleep. But one evening, Tom, being quiet as a mouse, hid under the table and heard something awful. The father said, "We have no choice. We can't feed them anymore. Tomorrow we'll take the children deep into the forest and leave them there." The mother began to cry, but eventually she agreed. Tom's heart pounded, but instead of panicking, he came up with a plan. That night, under the moonlight, he sneaked outside and gathered as many small, white pebbles as he could carry in his little pockets. When morning came, the parents told the children they were going to the woods to collect firewood. The kids, unaware, followed. As they walked deeper into the forest, Tom dropped the pebbles, one by one, marking the path without anyone noticing. After hours of walking, the parents told the children to rest while they looked for more wood, but they never returned. Night fell. The trees creaked, the wind howled, and the forest seemed alive. The children began to cry, but Tom said, "Don't worry. Follow me." Guided by the shining pebbles under the moonlight, Tom led his brothers all the way back home. When they returned, their parents were shocked, not knowing what to say. Their mother hugged them tightly. But food was still scarce, and days later, the father made the same plan again. This time, however, Tom couldn't sneak out to collect pebbles. The door had been locked. In the morning, as they were each given a piece of bread, Tom crumbled his into crumbs and quietly dropped them along the path. But the forest was full of birds, and they ate every single crumb. When the children were left alone again, Tom tried to lead them home, but the trail had vanished. The brothers sat under a tree, tired and scared. Tom said, "We can't stay here. Let's walk. Maybe we'll find shelter." After a long and tiring journey through brambles and thorns, they came upon a strange house. It was dark, built from heavy black stone, and stood on crooked ground. Tom knocked gently. An old woman opened the door. Her eyes were tired, and her voice cracked as she said, "Who are you?" "We're lost children," Tom said. "Please, can we stay the night?" The woman looked around nervously. "This is the home of an ogre. If he finds you, he'll eat you up." But seeing their desperate faces, she let them in and hid them. That night, the ogre returned. He was huge, with hairy arms, sharp teeth, and a voice that rumbled like thunder. As he sniffed the air, he roared, "I smell children." Tom quickly stepped forward. "We're harmless, small and skinny. Not worth eating. But we can be useful to you." The ogre laughed. "Fine. You may stay for now." Later that night, as the ogre snored loudly, Tom saw something interesting. A bag full of gold coins and a pair of boots standing by the fire. These were not ordinary boots. They were magical boots of 7 league steps, which meant they could take enormous strides with each step. Carefully, Tom took the boots and the bag of gold. With the magical boots, he was able to cover great distances in just a few steps. In no time, he brought all his brothers back home safely. When their parents saw them and the bag of gold, they could hardly believe their eyes. Tom gave them the gold, not holding a grudge. With that, the family finally had enough to eat and live in peace. But Tom's adventures weren't over. News of a small boy with a clever mind and magical boots spread across the land. One day, a messenger from the king arrived. The princess had been kidnapped by a fearsome ogre, and the king was offering a great reward to whoever could rescue her. Without hesitation, Tom said, "I'll go." The king looked him over, doubtful. "You're so small. Even the smallest can be brave," Tom replied with a grin. Wearing his magic boots, Tom set out on the mission. He crossed rivers and mountains, through lightning and snow, until he reached the ogre's castle, perched on a cliff. Using his size to his advantage, he snuck past the guards and crept into the highest tower. There, he found the princess, locked away. She gasped when she saw him. "You're just a boy." "Yes," he said, smiling, "but I'm the one who's going to get you out of here." He led her back down, using shadows and secret paths. With the boots of 7 league steps, they leaped across valleys and streams, and were back at the castle by nightfall. The king embraced his daughter and turned to Tom. "You saved her. You saved the kingdom. What reward can I offer you?" Tom, modest as always, said, "A place for my family to live in peace is more than enough." But the king insisted, and gave him riches, land, and offered the hand of the princess in marriage. The princess, having grown fond of her brave little rescuer, agreed. They were married in a great celebration, and Tom's family came to live in the palace. He never let the power or the gold change him. He continued to help those in need and became a legend not for his size, but for his bravery, cleverness, and heart. Moral: never judge someone by their size. True greatness lies in courage, intelligence, and kindness. And that's the end of today's story. Did you enjoy it? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this tale with someone who loves to dream. See you on our next imaginary adventure. Bye for now.